Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm Zombie Quaggan and this is Venta Cemetary. So this is the 5th mission in Guild Wars 1 Nightfall, and basically I hate this mission. I hate this mission so much I kind of blanked it from my memory. So I'm actually not recording this, like I'm kind of doing the narration afterwards, whereas normally I do like live narration as I'm going along. And the reason is I wanted to focus on just doing this. So the skill I just got is like a disarm trap kind of skill. It disarms these sentry traps, which is kind of important because they kind of do like massive damage, okay? And the main thing you want to look at is this mini map, okay? Do you see that red flag? There's like loads of these sentry posts all around the place, and we've got to disable every single one of them. Like, I'm not even kidding, it's ridiculous for the bonus, okay? So you can actually genuinely do this mission without even hurting anyone, and you can do it in well under 10 minutes. Okay, and now do you see this blue bar that's slowly going down? This is like the guard post, like alert meter. So if that was to reach 0, then we'd be bombarded by like long range artillery, and it hurts a lot, and it can easily wipe your team. So I'm just messing around with the interface right now just to make everything look a bit better. So I can see the map and I can see that. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is. You've just got to neutralize these towers. You've got to disable, or you don't have to disable sentry traps, but it helps. And then you've just got to get to the far kind of southwest of the map. But there's some things you can do to help, which I admittedly didn't do here. Like, there's literally no point in taking healing heroes, because if you look at all the Sun Spear like people with you, they're all monks, and they all heal quite a bit. So the main thing you're gonna want is like some kind of stance removal, which I again didn't have, because all of the bowmen have whirling defenses, and it blocks 90% of all projectile attacks, and not only that, but it deals like damage adjacent to them when they do. So all of my minions and all, like you see in now, all of my minions and everyone attacking are doing the actual damage, are all getting hurt by everyone else's projectiles, and you can't stop it because all of these like Sun Spear monks, they've all got projectiles as well. And a lot of the minions I had were also doing it, and I was doing it. So I was pretty much just banking on that 10% chance just to slowly whittle them down and just to help out. But yeah, that's really all this mission is. The only other thing you've got to worry about is right in the middle of the map. There's this giant base, and if you start to get close to it, a big warning appears on the screen, and it's telling you like you're getting too close, and if you get even closer still, it does like giant artillery damage. It does like 400 health a second, I think it does, and literally nothing can survive it. So you just want to get away, but it gives you like ample warning if you are. So yeah, there's not really much I can say about that, but I may as well start chatting about like what's happened in the story so far. Okay, so at the end of the last mission, obviously we went to Gandhara. We fought through like, you know, the fortress, and then we ended up meeting like Varesh Ossa, and she was like summoning demons. After that, everyone kind of got split up. Well, I say everyone. Cormira was lost, and so was Kos. So you kind of like need to try and find them. So you very quickly find Kos. He's just been captured by some coordinates. It's a really simple quest. You just go and take it. Then you just go and appear, and he dances for you, because when you win, then it's kind of boring. But you also end up setting like a command post. Now when you first get it, it's terrible. There's nothing there. But there are these 3 quests you need to do in order to actually set up the base. And they're really easy. It's like, you know, go find these people, bring them back. That kind of very simple stuff. But there's a very important thing there. This is the first place where you can change your secondary profession, which is massive, okay? And if this is your first character, like technically this is for mine, even though I've got a ranger in pre-searing, it's not leaving pre-searing for a very long time. You're gonna want to pick every single secondary profession right away. Like, it costs 500 gold per change, but you're gonna want to do literally all of them. And the reason is, whenever you change, you unlock new skills. Or the first time you change, I should say. And then those heroes, your heroes get access to those skills. So like, for example, like if you look at like Beck right now, even though I don't check his skills for a while, he's got all fire skills when he starts out kind of lightning. Because I was able to get like the fire skills I needed to do like AoE damage, and I much prefer AoE on an elementalist. And then other things like Oleus, I managed to get him, he's a necromancer I got. Managed to get him like some more minion-y stuff, and managed to get the monk some more healing. And then another thing I did is I went to both of the other like expansions. So I went to the first game, like Prophecies, and I went to the second game, which is Factions, just so I could buy some more skills, because the skills are terrible on the heroes you first get them. And another tip as well, heroes' armor, right? You can barely change it. Like I've already changed Koz's. I'll show you that in another video. But their armor kind of levels with them, but their weapons don't. So do you see Koz has got a fancy new sword? That's because I realized like halfway through doing like some other kind of questing that his sword had like 2 to 3 damage on it, which is like terrible. So at this point, you know, I'm just over 5 minutes in, and I'm only reaching my 3rd sentry post now. It's just so boring. It's not the worst mission, like by far. Like there are others, but there are some that are a lot better, and there are some that are a lot quicker. Like honestly, the first time I did this and did it all, like my very first like save, almost like all those years ago, it probably took over a half an hour to do this. Because I know now like who to target first. Like at the sentry post, you want to target like the commanders. All the other times you want to target the priests if they're there. Otherwise, you probably want to get the necromancers down, because necromancers can do quite a bit of like damage over time kind of spells. But like honestly, if you're looking to kind of like follow along and do this campaign to try and get Hall of Monuments points yourself or anything like that, don't bother taking any healers. Maybe one in hard mode just to be sure, but like literally there's, you know, that's 8. 8 is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's 8 monks that are following me. You know, and there's 8 of you, so that's easily 1 each. And they're helping to keep like the minions alive, stuff like that. So yeah, so we are now. Oh, I was wrong. That's the 4th, not the 3rd. But it's because I'm narrating now and I'm not paying attention because I've already done this. But you just literally just have to run around killing guard posts. Like there's like no like variation. There isn't like some which have like more of one kind of profession or the others. Every now and again you'll see one which randomly doesn't have a commander, but like they all work the same, and it's just like so boring. Yeah, may as well talk about other stuff, I suppose. My kind of pre-searing kind of adventures aren't really doing very well right now, to be honest. He's still level 2. But I'm actually really enjoying playing Nightfall again. Like, I'm actually barely on Guild Wars 2 now, because even though like the expansions just come out, like there's nothing to do apart from like grinding experience, which I don't want to do. Like I've got all the challenges like I set myself, but honestly, like I'm having more fun with this because I've actually got some kind of progression. Like I get why there isn't much at the end of like the Path of Fire expansion Guild Wars 2, because like within like a few months they're going to go straight into the living world and they needed something to go into, you know, which is fine. But until that comes out, like I don't want to just grind all of the like different all of the mount masteries. I just don't want to do it. I'd rather like naturally kind of get the experience from doing like all the quests and stuff. But yeah, here's a point, right? Do you see this sentry trap here? Those guards can easily kind of knock out your focus while you're doing that, because you see that really long kind of charge time for it. If you get hit during that, then it kind of interrupts. So that's why I went behind that wall, because I knew they wouldn't be able to hit me there, and I could do it for it. Yeah, I hate the bowman so much. But that skill they use, Whirling Defense, is actually a really good skill to have if you're like a ranger yourself. Like especially in some of like the PvP kind of things, because there's a game mode in the second expansion Factions. It's called Fort Aspenwood. It's so much fun, honestly. If you go from the Kurzik side, you're basically defending this fortress while this guy is trying to build like this super weapon to kind of take out the Luxons. And he needs amber to do it, so you're kind of like running for these like amber kind of mines. They're not really mines, they're more like tents. But you get like kind of raw amber and bring it to him, and then he powers up this weapon. But if you're a ranger and you've got Whirling Defense, you can literally take out one of the camps just with that. You just run right up to the Rangers, hit whirling defense, they all basically kill each other. It's great. So you just run in, grab the amber, run out, they're all dead. And it's just fun. I really like that kind of game. But I'm not even sure how it'll work now. Like, if there aren't any players to join you, would you be there on your own and it would be too easy? But I don't know. Something I'll try when I get around to factions, because I want to get Nightfall done first. Like, I wanted to show you guys like the lore. You know, with the whole like Path of Fire being released, I thought more people would be interested in the Nightfall lore than they would be like the factions lore. Or the prophecies one. I'll probably end up doing prophecies next if I'm doing lore. Even though like factions is my favorite. It's probably because it's got the best kind of like professions. Like the ritualist is so much fun. He's literally a guy that summons spirit turrets. They're just these spirits and they just like throw projectiles at people. Like some will knock people down, some will some will just interrupt constantly. It's just awesome. And he looks kind of cool too, but meh. A video for another time. Oh, that's a point as well. It even had one of my favorite missions. So because oh my god, I think of the name now. Yeah, because factions had like the first, because it was the first expansion. There was a point where either you were like a local, like where your character started there, or you were like a foreigner, where you started in Prophecies, and there's a point where they meet, and it was a mission called Vizuna Square, and there were two different outposts for this mission. There was a local one and there was a foreign one, and you actually got to meet up at the same time. So a group of 8 could be in the local one, and a group of 8 could be in the foreign one, and there'd be 16 of you running around in the same map. It was amazing. Like, it happened again later on, but that second mission, like, was when, like, the Kurziks and the Luxons kind of came together. It wasn't as fun, I don't think. But it was just great seeing how many, like, Minion Master Necromancers came along, and they all took, like, the same skill. It's called Blood of the Master, which heals, like, all undead, but takes away your health. And if there were too many undead, too many minions, you just auto-die. And it was just hilarious. But, yeah, it just had so many cool gameplay stuff. Like, Nightfall has some cool things as well, like, to be honest. Like, later on when you get to the Crystal Desert, like, do you know, like, while playing Guild Wars 2, there were the Janundu, those big worms that were kind of chilling in the sulfurous wastes? So that's, like, the desolation part where you had to use the skimmer to get past. They were just there. You can ride them in this game. Like, you literally mount them. Like, it's kind of like you kind of transform into them. It looks like they kind of swallow you up and then you can be them, but they've got this amazing siege attack and it does so much damage. But also you can kind of like set your heroes up. So if you clicked on like the number next to the heroes, like I do it with Vec a few times in this mission, you can see their skills and you can tell them to do a specific skill. So like you can run up to like a group, tell everyone to use your siege, and then there's just this massive giant chain of knockdowns just happening, and it's beautiful. But yeah, so we are now 2/3 of the way through these towers. There are 4 left. And can you see on that map on the very bottom left there's like a person icon? That's Magrid the Sly. That's the person we need to run to. That's Koz's contact who's getting us all out of here. Because the idea at this point is the Sunspears are broken. They're like pushed back. Most of them have been captured or killed. And there's not a lot of hope. So you've run around and you found some that have been like captured by some guards, and you're trying to like get them back home basically. But all the ships you came on have all been crushed, like they're all like destroyed, and there's no kind of, or they don't think there's any hope for you to get them home. And Koz has a way, but no one else knows what it is yet. I'm not going to spoil it because we're about to find out. Yeah, so we've got 3 left, including this one. And like I said it before, and I'm just gonna say it again, this is just so boring. Like, they could have like halved the number of these and made them harder, and it would have been more fun. But I don't know. They haven't done anything similar to this with this like amount of stuff, so I reckon so many people complained they actually took the feedback on. Yeah, 2 to go, and they're both quite close to each other. Oh, and one thing I kept doing in this mission that there's literally no point is my skill 5. It's called for Great Justice, and it gives you like double the adrenaline gain. And obviously it's great because I use a lot of adrenaline, but see that spirit that every single group pretty much summons? It's called the Spirit of Infuriating Heat, and that gives everyone double adrenaline. So, yeah, there's no point. Like, the spear attack I use only takes 2 adrenaline. So if I'm within that and I use it, I get it back straight away. Yep, 11 out of 12. And there's a group of bowmen who I can't stand. So at that point I was like, wanted to get Vec to use Firestorm, but he was already using it himself, which was fantastic. Because Firestorm doesn't count as a projectile, it's like an area of effect spell, even though there are projectiles in it. So it doesn't get blocked by the whirling defenses. But look how long it takes like to kill like this one guy. So we've got one more left, and then we've got to fight our way to the very end, and then we're done. So see there when I opened like Vec's thing up, I could click on it and there was a big tick showing. That tick means that Vec's going to use that as his next spell, and he did. And that's the Firestorm you can see there. They don't tend to run away very well. See right now this sentry trap's about to fire, but it doesn't matter because I know it, because I'm like kind of running away from it, so I left it. But yeah, so I need to go to that. So I literally just run back the path I came. Oh, but the story's about to get interesting. So basically very shortly after this, I may as well say what's going to happen next. I can say what happens before the next mission, at least anyway. You kind of run around, you kind of realize that you've got to go to Vabi, and you've got to convince like the 3 princes to help you, okay? So you're kind of running along, trying to find like the way to go, and you suddenly find this centaur, and he's being captured by Cornins. And you know, it's a bit kind of tragic, but you kind of want to like report it to someone, so you kind of go back to your command post, and then suddenly there's a centaur in your base. He's infiltrated you, and he's blackmailing you, saying that he needs to speak to me and me alone, like outside. And you get there, and he's actually speaking to the Master of Whispers, like from the Order of Whispers himself. And it turns out the Master of Whispers is blackmailing him to blackmail you, and it's really weird. So you kind of go with him, and he sets up a plan, okay? Because basically, the Cornins have captured loads of centaurs and they're kind of using them as slaves. They work them so hard that they just work them until they die, and then they just kind of dispose of the corpse, however. But the centaur's plan, and it's ridiculous, is to get caught by the Cornins, just to surrender. So one of the centaurs that's kind of in the camp, like the Cornins believe they've broken him, and he's actually managed to get a key to one of the cages. So you're going to get captured with this centaur, and then the plan is for you to break out, run around after you've just been like captured, and like free all the other centaurs. And that's kind of where you are before the next mission. But yeah, there's not much really more I can go over right now. Yeah, there's only like this group, and then there's like, if I can avoid the other 2 groups, which I only just don't. There's this group, and you see that group that's coming in on the right? They slightly catch me at the very end, but I just run off instead of fighting them. So there's the Corner like spotters, they don't use whirling defense, so you can kind of kill them quite easily, but all the bowmen do. And they're a pain. So here we go. So He's dying now, so let's get all my heroes away, which is what that flag is. But I think they catch the minions anyway, so if I put my flag over here, then literally everyone runs to the flag, they drop what they're doing and go. So then those guards are just fighting like some necromancer minions, and I don't care about that. And this is Manfred the Sly, so this is the end of the mission, and it took like just over 20 minutes. Which isn't bad.
Marguerite, got my boat?
That depends, my friend. Got my money?
You sure you want the money? My friendship's worth more than mere gold, isn't it?
You're charming, Koss, but I can't spend charming. The money, please. It's always a pleasure doing business with honest people. Welcome aboard.
Koss, she's a Corsair. Can we trust her?
Only for as long as the money lasts. But for the moment, you can relax. We're going home.
Ooh, and Koz has been colluding with pirates. Ooh.
You let those spears escape?
There were only a few of them, sir. We've already captured and killed most of their forces.
Only a few? Idiot. Captain!
Yes, sir!
Increase the patrols. Burn the villages that help these traitors. Send word to the War Marshal.
Yes, sir. What should I tell her?
Tell her to send me the hunger.
Ooh, send the hunger. So the hunger we've already seen in the video, but it's not kind of obvious like what the hunger is. So I can kind of leave it at that. So, ooh. But anyway, that'll do. That's the end of the mission, and I'm so happy it's over. So yeah, thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care now. Bye bye.